Hello. Hello, how are you? How have you all been? Have you been good? I think it was like just under a week since the last time we did a stream, so I hope you've been good. So, Zoo, Danae, Blake, all in one, Sarah, best friend, random little boy, you're back again. Little gaming, zoning. Hello everyone. Why do you suck at breeding? I don't know, maybe you don't rebreed often enough. Gemini alpha breeding is impossible. That's just not true. Come on. I mean, even I proved that. We got it on like our third try. Come on, dude. What are the odds of the best combination for Gemini alpha? Like 4%? Something like that. How's life treating you? Intriguingly, but you know, we keep going through the days. It's night for you. It is 10 AM for me. 10 AM. Can I friend you? Please read the FAQs. Should be in the live stream description. But anyway, I'm gonna get the DML up and raring to go. It's actually bugged out as hell right now. So here we go. You're trying for the lilac? Well, you know, we've already been successful for Gemini Beta, but Gemini Alpha and Beta, you know, the main thing is about just trying to rebreed as often as you possibly can. The only problem is, you need to be very, very careful, because do remember that we do have the solo event tomorrow, so actually the worst thing you could possibly do would be to, like, breed a legendary dragon right now, and then not be able to access your breeding den. So if you're not too worried about breeding them right now, and you want to do the solo event, just, you know, don't try and breed either of them right now. It's 7 PM for you, Carolyn. That's cool. Yeah, I'm fine, I guess. Who plays Roblox? Not me. Stay on how many people will ignore the FAQ? Hopefully everyone. I love it when that happens. What? This rolled back. This. Are you kidding me? It rolled back my legendary recipe edition. Are you kidding me? What a good start. I open the game and the first thing I do is complain. You missed the past live streams? Well, you didn't today. Did I get beta on my Android? I don't have beta yet. I do have Lilac and I do have Gemini Alpha on my Android though, so we will be starting the chain breeding very soon. Hello, Nasli. You're trying for Gemini Alpha? Well, good luck. Again, best thing that you can do is rebreed as often as you can. But again, if you want to have the best shot at doing that solo event, you shouldn't be breeding for legendaries right now. You gotta decide what's more important to you. You got 2 bananas! Rip. If you look at my hatchery, we got pretty lucky. It was on our second attempt, so. You got the Gemini Alpha on your first try? You see, that's the kind of thing I like to hear. You know, rather than having to slog through an entire month just getting more and more worried. Now, if you get it over and done with quickly, it does ease a lot of the tension, but it doesn't always work like that, unfortunately. You got a bit carried away with your money? Oh no. I did that once with the original castle event, and I never ever did it ever again. How did you get that much food? You use it all up in 10 seconds? I get this food from just, you know, playing the game for a long time. And plus, when you have a higher player level and all of that sort of thing, more dragons, you're obviously going to be generating more gold. When you finish the map off, you get more gold for every fight that you win. So it's basically just because of how far we've gone on the map. Still not got Alpha, but you got Lilac. Well, it's a start. It's a start. You're trying to get the Dragon of the Month? Again, it is a good idea because it will go towards the Zodiac collection, and it will give you that deep space dragon if you got all the others. You know, legendary reset. What? Annie? You know, I've been learning Japanese for like the last few days properly because I did try and learn it a little bit in school when we had to do it because it was mandatory. But since I'm going to Japan next month, I've been trying to relearn it again. And every time I see Nanny, I just laugh. I love it. I love seeing the word everywhere. Nanny? How do you be such a lucky... I don't know. You know, it just happens sometimes. I have had long spells where my luck in game has been awful. But, you know, with the way that luck works, sometimes you're going to be lucky, sometimes you're going to be not lucky. So the times when you are lucky and everyone sees it, everyone's like, oh my god, you're always so lucky. What food do I plant? Hour-long spring cherries and squarey berries that are 6 hours. They're the best food in terms of food per hour. Do I like money more in DML or the food, to be honest, usually. Because the thing is, you normally use your gold to buy food in DML. So you're better off just being given the food. But, you know, I've got most of the resources that I need already that cost money, so that's why I don't care so much for it. But what's the strongest legendary dragon in the game? I would say something like the Autumn Dragon, to be honest. Autumn is just so good because of its elements. It's just insane. You think the Dragon of the Month is more important than the solo event? You know, you gotta make that decision. Some people really like collecting all the other dragons, so the castle event dragons, because I mean, we're gonna get the Blackberry and we're gonna get the Blueberry. So if you want those two, that might be more important to you. But if not, go for the Dragon of the Month. Shout out the DML players from the Philippines. There are tons of them. If I did that, I would be naming names for way too long. You got 5 hours left and then you get deep space. Very cool, very cool. Let's pop Andy in. You have 370 gems. Save them. Save them. Especially if we're going to have a divine event potentially soon. I would highly recommend that you don't spend them yet. Again, anyone looking to make a team or wondering what dragons that they should use in like a final endgame team, just wait until the divine event comes out and see what new stuff comes out with it. We could get a new exception, we could get an exception that's really easy to get. It is not worth investing into a dragon right now and then having to change it when the divine event comes out. What is the solo event? If anyone was curious about what the solo event is, then it is talked about on here. So this is the weekly schedule from May 6th to the 13th. It's the 9th right now. So the solo event is May 10th to the 20th. Race against the clock and complete numerous tests to win the Blueberry and the Blackberry dragons. We don't know what the map's going to look like, but the solo event is here. We're also going to have a farming fanatic event, as you can see. And yeah, so get yourself prepped like you would for any regular solo event, basically. If you've never really encountered solo events that many times before and you still don't know how to do them properly, then the general gist is just make sure all of the farms, breeding dens and everything are clear so that when the event comes out, you can get the points. Or more specifically, get the items from the tasks, is how I should word that. Killer Raptor, hello! Would I change Andy for the Freya? I don't have Shadow. but it would be a consideration. I would definitely swap out the Hermes dragon, because the Hermes dragon, I didn't even pay attention. Do you think the last 3 dragons are going to be super overpowered? I'm going to check. But Hermes is just a worse version of Freya. Ah, they're not. Sweeto! So it would be much better for me to replace the Hermes dragon than it would for Andy, and I would 100% make that trade, yes. 100%. What's my Discord? That should be in the FAQ section. There should be a direct link to it. Will there soon be an event like the Time Reform? That's what I'm talking about. We know that there is another Divine event on the horizon, because it was, you know, they basically teased it with the Stronger Together event with that Chrono Nezza dragon. So expect it anytime soon. It could be anytime soon. It might be in a couple of, like a month or so. But we know that we're also getting a new update next month. So I'm not sure. Are they going to bring it out before the new update or after the new update? Possibly after. How does it go? Welcome back. Is there going to be a new... We don't know anything about it yet. Don't know about new Divines. We don't know about new Legendaries. Anything could happen. The castle is today. No, the solo event is tomorrow, is when it starts. Would Murano and Gemini Alpha be a good team? I don't really like those two together because Murano is quite an aggressive dragon. And Gemini Alpha is a really defensive one. Gemini Alpha pairs up better with dragons that have, you know, water, that have metal, that have void. If you want to create the best, air quotes, most synergistic team you can, then the Geminis go a lot better in a defensive comp. Murano goes better generally in an offensive comp, but he can also like in defensive comps, but I wouldn't say it's a good team with those two on its own. Have I seen your Quackalike dragon you sent on Discord? What, today? I might have seen it if you sent it ages ago, but I'm not gonna remember right now. I won't remember if it's been like a month ago. I don't think I've seen it, but I don't remember. Yeah, that's the problem. You're never gonna have a good team if you only have 2 dragons. It's not a complete team until all of the dragons are there, you know? You don't have more good legendaries? Well, this is why you should wait until that new Divine event comes out and try and breed all the Dragon of the Months that you can. Because if you just breed, like, every Dragon of the Month that you possibly can, when you're trying to work out a really good late game team, you're going to have tons and tons of choice to go through. Whereas if you've been ignoring all of the Dragons of the Month, you'll end up with like 2 legendaries only. It's like, oh, I have literally nothing to use now. So now I have to focus on getting a good dragon for the next 6 months. You're back. Hello, Blake. Sent it like 2 weeks ago. I probably don't remember them. I apologize. What is the ugliest epic? Droid. What's the best combo for the Dragon of the Month? I've already done a full breeding guide on that for you. Again, the reason I create the breeding guides isn't just so that, you know, people know how to do it. It's so that then, if anyone ever needs to know how to do it, I can send them that. And you can either watch it, or you can just take a look at what's written in the description, or you can check out the links and go and check out the other sites. It's just so that then you have a really easy way to, you know, click on it, and then the answers are there. Because it's like, I could list off some of the combinations right now, but there are reasons why certain combinations are better than others. And sometimes you won't always have those combinations, so putting them all out in a listing like I did in the videos, you know, you get to choose them. It's like, oh, I don't have those dragons, so I'll use this combo instead. So I could say, technically, the best combo is X, but then there are like 8 other dragons that share the same element as that dragon. So that's why you should just go and check out the breeding guides, wherever that breeding guide may be, whether it's mine, whether it's on the breeding guide websites like DML Planner, doesn't matter, but it's a lot more handy. Why do you never get legendary recipes? You gotta refresh a lot. It is random. Oh, you got a new commission, that's cool. I just always made my own stuff because the thing is, I do like things, you know, looking sleek and proper, but at the same time, I've always wanted it to look like I did it. So like with the current channel logo, I literally went through and made it more freehand than I'd originally made it, so it looked more, I guess you could say, amateur. Because I didn't want it to look completely perfect, so I just ended up doing everything on my own. But Sonia, hello, thank you for your subscription. You know, it's up to you. Some people just like everything looking really nice. They like to pay people to, you know, do the work for them as well. Because, you know, sometimes some of the art people do is crazy good. But I'm just someone that does all of my own channel stuff myself at the moment. Could I put Gemini Alpha and Gemini Beta together in a den, please? Why? There's literally no point. I already know what all the possible outcomes are, and you cannot get anything useful out of it. Unless you mean in a habitat, because putting them together in the breeding den is literally pointless. Putting them together in the same habitat is also literally pointless. Fastest legendary breed so far? Oh, I bred tons of legendaries on my first try. Like the plushie dragon, a bunch of the recent dragons of the month actually. I got them on my first try, or like first or second try. But yeah, tons of them actually. So, wouldn't be fair to say, what's your fastest? Because, you know, I bred one within the first 5 minutes of it being available. You're sick today? Oh, that's a shame. But hello, Feather. Would I be shocked if the new dragon for the update is the Quackles dragon? That wouldn't happen because of copyright reasons. And Kyle, thank you as well for subscribing, my friendo. Pixie, Ball, and Cancer, it's a good team. I'd say it's okay. It's got the good elements on it, like the necessary ones. But at the same time, you don't have any divines in that. And you're gonna really struggle if you're gonna try and enchant 3 legendaries up. You know, it's something that people go like, divines are harder to enchant though, aren't they? They're actually not anymore. Divines are a lot easier to enchant than legendaries are these days. And the thing is, you're much better off having 1 divine, 2 legends, or 2 divines, 1 legend, because then you can sort of spread out where the enchantment materials go. If you have 3 legendaries, you are gonna struggle. You are going to struggle with enchanting quite a lot. Your drawing skills are definitely amateur. Oh, I used to draw all the time, but I definitely have not drawn very much in the last, like, 10 years. So I would say the same, but I wanted it to look definitely like I'd done it. So, you know, it's just a way of, I guess, finishing the end product up differently. Getting a cat in 2 days? Ooh, that's cool. Am I good at drawing? Nah, I would not say so. You know, you look at some of the people and some of the, like, photo-realistic artwork that they do, or some of the out-there artwork that they do, it's like, oh my god. But at the same time, you know, those people draw or paint or create digital art, like, every single day of their life. I don't have time for that. So, compared to them, I should be worse. Just, you know, based on an effort basis. Because I don't know about everyone else, I've never believed that someone is genuinely born just gifted and that is the only reason that they're successful in what they do. I've never believed that in my life. Alright, have fun creation, Andrew. Have I ever gotten bored of DML? Oh yeah, I get bored of DML all the time. Mainly because, you know, the way that the game works. Like, the problem with DML compared to a lot of other games is the fact that you are limited in how much time you can spend in the game. And that gets really, really annoying. Especially when you get to the point where every new dragon that you get takes 2 days to hatch. And that is it. Because... oh, I need 2 more fights. Because it just means that a lot of your time playing or advancing in the game is just you not playing the game. Whereas in other games, like you could say, I don't know, let's just use an example like League of Legends because it's a popular game. Whereas in League of Legends, the only way for you to improve is to actually play it. If you just stop playing for a month, you're not going to get any benefit. And the thing is, you can keep playing League of Legends for as long as you want, every single day. Whereas in DML, it's like, oh, you've done everything, that's it. You can't play DML any longer. And that really, really gets tiring. Am I going to upgrade Saini to full enchantment? Well, that's sort of an ongoing plan. I don't care about it too much, because I don't really need him. But, you know, while I'm doing enchantment battles and everything, we might as well do it. So, what would my own dragon be? It would be a parrot dragon. It would have the plant shadow and, I don't know, like, earth element, just to make it fit the theme. And I don't know, I guess it'd be an epic, because every dragon in the game is an epic. I guess if it's like what I'd really want it to be, then obviously I'd want it to be the strongest thing in the world, but that's just not reasonable. You know, I'm gonna be reasonable. And sure, yeah, let's do our arena battles while we're here. Murano, I gave Gemini. See, you got a little bit of a clash there with how your dragons work. You play on 2 devices? I do when I have to as well. Do I have the turf dragon already? I did breed it between videos. Yes, so I will be hatching him later today, actually. I did already have it on Android. Oh my god, I just pulled out like 25 hairs. You know, since it's getting into summer soon, I have just been molting like a literal dog. It's actually kind of ridiculous. Like, not body hair, I'm talking about hair, alright? I'm not saying that I have, like, pit loads of armpit hair or something. But now, the turf dragon, I was pretty lucky with it. And Laz Dabs, hello. And Wang. You dare me to try a hard battle in the arena? Can I reduce the sound of the music? The music is like barely even there. But yeah, sure, I could do a hard battle. You want me to really beat this fight? I can if you want. Actually, which clan dragon do we have? We should just be using this anyway. It's you, I see. Striker. Oh, that's fine. Striker is fine. Can I remember what my first team was before you got your divine and legendaries? Tiger dragon, prairie dragon, and clownfish was the general idea. I mean, is this really too loud? I'm gonna go like there. I've taken it down a singular notch. I thought it was fine though. Oh my god, why is it so buggy? Every time I use it, it bugs out. What was that about? Feather dragon, keep spamming and you're gonna get perma-blocked. Please don't make me do this. Please don't make me do that. Again, another and you're gone. Don't do it. It's literally so simple. There you go, there's a hard fight done. I don't think I had to use... Oh god, look at that team. Freya, Hathor, Avara. I don't think I needed to use Dragon Fury, but it's easy done. Easy completed with it. So... You're from Russia? That's cute. From the last event where the pixie dot was the reward for top 3 players, you were in the #1 position when the event ended, but you still didn't get the pixie dot. How many points did you get? Because people keep saying this. And the thing is, the event literally states, when you start it, or on the front event screen, it literally says you need to get at least 700 points to be eligible for that prize. So a lot of people have been like, oh my god, I got top 3 and I didn't get the pixie dot, my game is bugged, I hate you Gameloft, and everything about you is like, but you only scored 400 points. Of course you're not eligible, it literally told you that you wouldn't be. You're from Russia too? I've never been to Russia. Just gonna be honest. Russia has never been somewhere I've been particularly intrigued about visiting. What Dragon of the Month did I not breed? I did not breed the Pixie Dot Dragon on PC when it came out because I spent all of that month on my Android account pretty much for all the event stuff. But I don't really care that much about it. And so many people were like spam PM messaging me, like moaning at me that they didn't get the dragon. It's like, dude, 1, I don't work for Gameloft, I can't help you. 2, did you get 700 points? And it's like, no, I got 650 points. It's like, well, then you're not gonna get the dragon. Why didn't you read the event screen? Come on, dude. How long do you think we are gonna get the Freya dragon? What? Freya dragon, or the Freya dragon isn't available anymore. What do you mean? Why would you spam? That's just insulting. You're basically saying that you don't trust that I'm going to read your message. Just don't spam people's chats. Would you really like it if I went to your profile and just spammed 700 messages at you? It's like, I know that they probably don't expect a new message or notification now. Now is the perfect time to go ahead and do it. Most people probably wouldn't be too grateful about that. Like, as soon as you no longer expect a message, that's it. You go and spam someone. I don't see why. Why would you do it? But yeah, with the divines that have been released in the past, the problem is we have no guarantee they'll ever come back. They could do, but a lot of them haven't yet. They might come back as chrono divines, which then it's not even the same dragon. But hopefully they do, because I want everyone to be able to have the same, you know, chances to get those dragons. But at one point they said that they were never bringing them back. And then they said that they were. So just take everything with a grain of salt, I guess, is the moral of the story. You're gonna draw Gemini Alpha and Beta? Go ahead and do it. Go ahead and do it. Send it to Gameloft if you want, on like the forums. Send it to them on Facebook. You know, they do respond to people when they leave comments and that. Is the Rocket Dragon, Empress Dragon, and Clay Dragon good or bad? For a late game team, it's awful. If you are just trying to get through the main map, then the Clay Dragon is questionable, but he does have his uses on the map. But eventually you will need to upgrade to better dragons, if you want to make the game easier, that is. You can still use them for as long as you want, but the game will be more difficult. Ashwari, I'm fine. What about you? Do I have recommended breeding tips for Gemini Alpha? Rebreed as frequently as you can. Use the best combinations that are listed. Don't just, you know, decide, oh, I want to use my own combo because I'm hip and trendy, and then you're using like the Agave and Tribal Dragon or something stupid. How did I first come across DML? I got my PC, and then I'd never had a PC that had an app store on it before, so I checked it out and it said, here's a game you might be interested in. DML, it's new. I was like, let's see it then. And that was it. Well, Feather Dragon, this should be a good lesson in not assuming things about people, shouldn't it? Rather than you assuming anything about me, the way I was going to act, how about you don't? Just assuming things about other human beings in general is an awful thing to do. It's like saying, oh, because you're English, that must mean that you're an ass. Or, oh, because you have dark skin, that must mean that you're a criminal or something. You know, some people genuinely believe that, and I don't think that that is right at all. Like, if you're Asian, then obviously you're good at math. You know, it's not cool. Don't ever do that to anyone. That's just, stereotypes exist, usually based on a reason, but don't treat every single person that you meet like that until they prove to be like that. You know? Like, I wouldn't assume anything about you. I don't assume that you're anything So I don't appreciate being assumed to be something else either. You get me? You're sad that mobile users can't be friends with PC. It's server load problems, you know. The server's already struggling enough at certain times, you know, like when we get new events out, divine events in particular, the servers really struggle. So by them cutting down the amount of people that are on each server, it does mean that it's less likely that they're going to overload with users and things are just going to explode. So even though it sucks, there are very good reasons for it. In Russia, the game is pretty popular. I assure you that this game is extremely popular in Vietnam for some reason. I have no idea why. But so many people from Vietnam play DML. Do I like playing in Android more or PC? PC 1,000,000%. Android is more convenient if you're going outside and you have a life. But the thing is, the game is it's a lot less smooth, especially since, you know, my PC is really good for playing a, you know, low intensity mobile game, whereas mobiles, they don't handle games quite as well as, you know, a PC like mine does. Hello, Contic. Hello, hello. And Pretty, hello. What do I think of Hermes, Lilith, and Torch? I mean, I don't think that team's bad. The only thing is, you know, I did put the Lantern Dragon on my own team, which is basically just a reskin of the Torch Dragon. The only reason I did it was just to test out the dragon. Because originally I didn't like Fire and Light. And after using Sadie for all this time, I still don't like it. It's literally only useful if you want to be lazy and one-shot a bunch of fights, and that is it. So I think I would agree with you that if I was looking to replace anything, I'd probably replace the Torch Dragon with something else. But it would have to be something pretty decent. Do I want the Turf Dragon? I already have it. And Diabaj, hello. Can I fight with a boss dragon? No, because boss dragons cannot be used in battle. If they got rid of useless games like Disney Magic Kingdoms, the problem is Disney Magic Kingdoms still rakes in quite a bit of money for them. I'm pretty sure that now Disney Magic Kingdoms might actually earn more money for them than DML does. I don't think DML's hit the top sales numbers for the company in years now, which is quite depressing. And the problem with Disney Magic Kingdoms is the fact that, you know, people that like Disney are willing to spend so much money on Disney merchandise, Disney games, because they already like the characters from, you know, the movies and everything else related to Disney, whereas in DML, you know, it's its own creation. So they have to rely on creating things within DML that make people like it. Whereas with something like Disney Magic Kingdoms, the interest comes from outside, so they're already invested into the games. So, if only we could get more, you know, effort, I guess, put into DML to make it even better. But, you know, sometimes it's not feasible. What solo event is coming? I don't remember what the name is, but we have that coming tomorrow. Rewards are going to be the blueberry and blackberry dragons. So 2 berry dragons. It's like we're just going with this sort of plant theme, I guess. Taught you a lesson. Everyone learns at any age. In fact, I think you learn the most when you're an adult, because the thing is, when you're a kid, the problem is your brain is so susceptible to being molded into whatever you're told, and that is proven now with science over time. Like, you can see it. If you want your kid to be a professional pianist, for example, like someone that plays the piano on stage, if you train them from the age that, like, from the day that they're born, you know, you play out that sort of music, you teach them little tidbits of information when they're like less than a year old, and you keep going, you can literally turn them into a pianist just by doing that. It's unfortunate that we can basically ruin kids in that way and make them into literally anything that we want, because the problem is at that point it becomes kind of intrusive, like, oh, that sounds sort of wrong. Like I'm literally just manipulating this little person into whatever I want them to be. And so a lot of what you learn as a kid is just what you're being manipulated into learning. Same if you're not very, I guess, if you don't think very critically about the things that you're being told as well. Because, you know, politics, things like that, you know, as soon as emotions get thrown into things, people just go mental and they stop thinking. But as an adult, you learn a lot of things and you truly learn things as an adult. I think that's the difference. Did I ever spend all of my gems for no reason? No. I always spent it on something that I wanted. Now, I know what you meant, Zingo. Disney Magic Kingdoms was boring and cringy. Well, they would probably think that about DML. If you had to replace your lantern, what would I look for? Well, taking away the fire and light doesn't really lose you anything apart from DPS. If you want to even use that phraseology for DML teams, I guess. But literally anything, really. I mean, if you get a good divine, like an exception divine, you could go with more plan, you could go with more shadow, you could just pick a dragon with more elements in general. Because the thing is, fire and light has been really useful in castle events in the past, so I'm not going to say that the Lantern Dragon has been completely useless, because by him having his range of elements, it does mean that a lot of castle events have become a lot easier for me. Just because, you know, I've been able to use him, I've been able to do the fights, because light isn't all that great. And the higher up people go, the less they tend to use the fire element. So getting fire in a castle event is like, great, now I can actually do it. But I would say try and just find a dragon that has a range of elements if you can, that isn't the same as your main guys, or replace just one of them with, you know, duplicate shadow or duplicate play. But if you do have any more duplicates, it will hinder your progress in castle events a bit. Is it a glitch that some dragons' eyes are open when they die? That's not a... I wouldn't say it's a glitch. It's just... it's a bug. It's not intended. How to breed the magnet dragon? Didn't I already make a breeding guide on that? You can go and watch that. Salut! You would have left DML if it wasn't for me. Oh god, maybe that's a bad thing. I'm like enticing people to stay addicted to video games. Because some people, I'm not saying you are, but some people are genuinely highly addicted to DML and the spending that it forces you to do, or makes you feel like you're forced to do. And, you know, I actually saw it in the US, when was it? Yesterday? They have already considered passing a law to ban games that contain loot boxes and microtransactions that are specifically catered to children. Because they are finally beginning to realize that game companies that specifically target children with loot boxes and microtransactions are causing children to become addicted to games. Because more studies are coming out that are proving it over time. Again, compared to like 40 years ago, children are 900 times more likely to be addicted to gambling, like some stupid high number like that. So that was yesterday, so that happened in the US. And trust me, if it goes through in the US, people around the world are going to start paying proper attention to it. And that would mean that a game like DML would be on the chopping board. So, even though I do think it needs to happen, it is, for the life of DML, it is a little bit scary. So I imagine Gameloft are going to be tippy-toesing around the issue for a little while. Well, I'm glad that you enjoy it, Ashwari. What was the hardest dragon you ever battled, or what did you like to draw when I used to draw? I always used to draw animals. I hated drawing people. I always used to draw animals. Because I used to draw a lot when I lived in India as a kid as well, because I didn't have the chance to go to school all the time because we were moving a lot. So I just used to like watch nature documentaries, have drawing books. I used to draw out of those. But the hardest dragon in DML to beat would be Freya, and I have beaten a Freya dragon before. Who inspired me to make a gaming channel? No one really. I guess I just used to like the fact that you could help people just by uploading content and making things that people didn't know about. Like the original thing that I used to do on the channel was trade away extra starter Pokemon and that. And, you know, show people pictures of my bird, well, videos of my bird. But the trading part, like being able to trade all of my starter Pokemon that I was breeding away, I used to love doing that. Because back in those games, unless you had like Game Boy Advance games for the DS, there was no way that you could get some of the rarest starter Pokemon. So, for the people that didn't have the Game Boy games, I just used to trade them stuff like Cyndaquils, Chikoritas. And I just used to give them Pokemon that otherwise they couldn't get. The only option for them was to trade with other people that had them. And I just used to give them away as well. I didn't ask for anything in return. Well, yeah, exactly. That's how I'm like saying my Lantern Dragon flannel. It's like, I want to replace it for something stronger or better suited for the team, I guess. The thing is, he does a decent job. He gets everything done that needs to be done, so it's not that much of a big deal. It's just like, if we were trying to be as optimal or have the best team physically possible, you know, we would replace him. If I had to have a team of common dragons, what dragons would I pick? 3 ceremonies. Playing video games isn't an addiction, it's a hobby. Well, there's a line that gets crossed. Anything can be a hobby. Anything in the world. If you love, I don't know, smelling wallpaper paint, that is a hobby. And you could make it a hobby. Like, you could write blog posts about the different smells that you can smell out of wallpaper, and based off of, you know, how well the home is taken care of, what different scents that you get out of the wall. But it becomes an addiction when you start, you know, cutting people out of your life socially. You stop going outside completely. You stop being able to talk to people. If someone takes you away from your wallpaper sniffing, then you get angry, you get violent. And unfortunately, like anything, video games do cause that in people. Not because of the video game itself, but because of their interaction with the game. Like, you can't say that video games cause people to commit crime, because they don't. The person that played the game had something wrong with them mentally at the time, or made a bad decision, or made the wrong decisions for the wrong reasons, and then they did that as a result. Again, it's not that anything is inherently addictive, unless it's something that literally messes with your brain, like alcohol or the thrill of alcohol. You know, I don't remember what specific, let's say molecules it changes, but it does have an effect. Can I say hello to Russian YouTube cluster? What? What is my favorite event? Calendar events. I already answered that, Sarah. Yeah, you probably did, Feather. I never remember these things though. Like, I'll see them at the time, I'll remember them for a bit, and then in the meantime, when everything else has gone on, I'll just completely forget. It's like when you look at art, it's like, oh, that's cool. But 10 minutes later, you'll forget what that art was, or you'll forget exactly how it is, unless it was like so amazing that you were just drawn to it. So think that's unfortunate because art does take a long time to make, especially really good art, but art's easily forgotten. Like, if I look away from anything, I don't remember it. I think that's also something to do with me because if you didn't know, I can't visualize things in my head. Like, you know how people say, you know, imagine a tree in your head. I can't do that. I literally do not have that mental capability. So to me, remembering artwork is especially difficult because I can remember the colours, or one of the main colours that I remember, but that is it. That was a loud noise from this Volvic touch of fruit. My favourite dragon in terms of looks, Imperial Caterpillar Dark Ice is the listing that I've come up with. It's probably not even that accurate. I've been playing DML since January 2015. So since it is now, what is it, May of 2019, it's been nearly 4.5 years. Nearly 4.5 years. Was the Autumn Dragon the Dragon of the Month? Yes. Yes, it was. Which is why it's no longer available, unfortunately. You're helping your mum cook. I never really used to do any cooking as a kid. I don't know. I never really enjoyed it. I did used to cut the vegetables, but I don't think that really constitutes cooking. That more so constitutes cutting. So maybe I've got some sick knife skills. Okay, that sounds a little bit weird. I'm a child and I've got some crazy knife skills, dudes. Yeah, I don't really want to be saying that too loud. Even my cutting's not that good though, because the thing is my hands suck. Just my hands in general, RSI, a bunch of other problems with them, so my cutting's actually awful. Because I'm like, say I've got a big carrot. And have you ever tried to cut a carrot, like, lengthways down, rather than, you know, across it? So you gotta go all the way down. I can never get the knife to cut properly, no matter how sharp it is, no matter how hard I press. I literally do not have the physical strength, or the grip strength, to make it happen. I actually detest cutting. So how about that? And good morning, Jaylind. Well, I say that is 10:40, so it would be a little bit of a late wake up. Watercolor or colored pencils, whatever you prefer. Whatever you prefer. Do I think the Autumn Dragon will come back? Not this year, no. Because if you've been paying attention, the Zodiac Dragons are the new in thing for this year. The Zodiac Collection will be an ongoing thing for the whole of this year. So no, I don't think the Autumn Dragon will come back as a regular breedable dragon this year. It might come back in bundles. Unfortunately, for a lot of the old Dragons of the Month, the only way to really get them, I don't want to do that fight, but the only way to get them is by buying them in bundles. The ninja. Just because I might be good at stabbing, that wouldn't make me a ninja. I've got tons of carrots. You know, last night, or in my only meal that I ate yesterday, I just cooked like 4 carrots. Like I cut up 4 carrots and just put them on the plate after, you know, boiling them. And that was like the majority of my meal was carrot. So I hope that that makes you feel good. Oh, you're talking about this. Sorry, yeah, the Zingo, the problem is, we've got this Zodiac Dragon collection and people keep posting about this because, you know, obviously, when we have the dragon, it gives us a check mark. So, for example, we've got the Deep Space Dragon here, which we've got a check mark for because we already have it. And now we need to get the Constellations of Summer, we need to get the Constellations of Winter, and probably the one after that as well. So then we'll get all 4 of these dragons. But the thing is, it says that we already have the reward dragon, but it will never show you what this reward dragon is. So a lot of people have been saying, is it a previously released dragon? My guess is that this is probably just a major bug, and this dragon probably doesn't even have its image files exist yet. It's possible it could be a previously released dragon, but if it is, I reckon a lot of people would be absolutely tearing their hair out because it would not have been worth breeding an entire year's worth of legendaries just for a dragon that we've already had before. So if that happens, I reckon there will be rioting. So I sincerely hope, from the bottom of my heart, that doesn't happen. It might. I hope it doesn't. You're leaving for work, that's fair. That is fair. It could come back in autumn, but it's not going to. Not as a Dragon of the Month anyway. I predict that with a 99% odds. If I'm wrong, quote me, and I'm wrong. But there's a 99% chance I'm right. And Shagwell, welcome back. A group of carrot eaters. That sounds so random. What are the new bundles? What, you want to know about, these ones? If you want to know all of the bundles that are out right now, there's only 2 of them. One of them is for Mr. Aries Dragon and 20 days of VIP, but that's going to be going in 2 hours. And then the other bundle is for Machine Dragon with some gold and some food. But I've already got both of these dragons, so I'm personally not interested. You got about a question about the event Stronger Together. I asked you why you were level 60 something instead of your real level. You've got another question. Yeah, because it wasn't my island. So, what else? What else are you confused about? What else did you not understand from the event? Speaking of which, Donna Kebab. But yeah, exactly. That's just a big kappa right there. Why couldn't they just use your real level in the event? I mean, judging from the other 2 people that they put in the event, I think it was quite obvious that the original intent was to give islands to people that don't actually play the game. You know, the other 2 people that were part of it, obviously, they had never played the ML before. If they had, they were like such a low level that the only reason they played it was, you know, for the sake of the event that was on. So, rather than, you know, just making it look worse on them, because why would you have one person that's level 140 with like 400 dragons, but then have those 2 at level 60 with only a limited amount of islands? Because they used those islands to show us new dragons as well. Like, that's the reason we found out about Chrono Nezha, that's the reason we found out about Fluffspot, and all of those new dragons, Jellyfish, which we haven't seen in game yet. They obviously used those islands to showcase new dragons and also to make it even for the 3 influencers that were part of the event. So that is why they didn't do that. How many years have I played DML? 4.5 nearly. When am I planning to get married? Whenever it is financially better to do so. Because the thing is, getting married, you don't really, between getting married and being engaged, you don't really gain anything in particular apart from like social clout, if you care about social clout. But the thing is, why do it until you get to a point where you can, like, by having joint accounts and things like that, a lot of things become opened up to you. And when you're going for a house, for example, I don't know if you have to be married or not, but you get discounts on your first home that you buy and things like that. But there are specific things where you do actually gain government benefits and extras for being married. That is like literally the only reason to have to get married. Because if you're with someone that, you know, you plan on being together with anyway, it doesn't really matter if you're married or not. The only reason you get married is because of like legal complications. If one of you gets in the hospital, then if you're not married, sometimes they don't let you make certain decisions for them. So until there's like a good reason to have to do it, I'm not willing to spend the money for it. Because why would I? I don't need to have a wedding to prove to people, you know, how my feelings are towards a certain person. Literally that simple. We got some jammies, beautiful. I wish it could have been more. Do you think they have to give is option to upgrade legendary habit for 3 or 4 dragons? No, they have no need to do that. They can, And I think we'd appreciate it very much so, but they don't have a responsibility to upgrade the habitats, if that's what you mean. Like, why would they? They can do whatever the hell they want. They can literally do whatever they want, it's their game. What is my average defender level? Oh, whoops, that is the wrong tab completely. There it is. So my average defender level is 62. If you look at that, I'm like 1 pixel away from level 6. But the thing is, I don't care. I never use these anyway. I never use potions. I don't need them anymore. You can't wait for Chrono Nether? It'll be interesting to see what gets released. It would definitely be intriguing to see what they decide to offer us. But I can't believe there's still 22 days and 22 hours left in this event. Oh god, I just touched him and he like fell over. Like, I want to see that animation again. Oh, there's a big scream. What was that falling over? I've never seen that. He's shaking it off. Tapping his neck a bit. I didn't realise they had this many animations when you pet them. Oh, there we go! Why does he just like go, whoo? It's like you scare him so much that you knock him down. I'm so sorry. I didn't realise it was that troublesome for you, Mr. Gemini Beta. I actually feel kind of bad now. But you know, I have been trying to breed another beta dragon. We have not been successful quite yet, but as many betas as we can breed, the better, because then we can either use it as... we can use it for a little bit of clout for a bit, I guess. Or we could also just use this beautiful thing here, being the enchantment altar. I wish the enchantment altar gave more elements, like actual materials, because there's like barely any reason to use it anymore. And Preeti, I'm glad. I appreciate you. And hello from Vietnam. Like I said, there's so many people from Vietnam that play DML. I don't know what the obsession is. It's kind of weird. Oh, I kind of want to get the Dragon Fury quest done, but I don't want to waste any more of my precious energy. So I'm going to upgrade him. How much? Oh, we only have 56 portal gems. Yikes. We're actually going to run out soon. This is why I can't even play this game for very long. Because as soon as I do, I just run out of portal energy. It's so bad. I wish it wasn't like that. And all of these guys have like an hour until we can use them again. You dare me to take Joko and say any of your team will let Andy fight a medium or hard battle in the arena? You want me to waste my arena gems for this? Fine. You want me to do it? I'll do it if you want. Can I not have it be against a Freya and Hathor though? That would be very much enjoyable. You really want me to do this? I could also just use focus attack and it would be a lot easier. Because the thing is, I'm not sure how he's going to survive this. I've never tried it out because, you know, why would I intentionally make the fights much harder for me than they need to be? But I'll do it if you want. I'll do it if you want. Let's do it on the Hermes, I think. Because I don't want to get... It's bad enough getting shadowed, but I don't want to get winded. Because look at how much damage they do. That's how much damage they do base. If you don't have the other guys to, you know, act as cannon fodder, basically. Because the problem is we're going to die from this. So if I use Dragon Fury again, I don't care about using it. This is more so just to show you how much damage they do. But like if we were to hit all of these two, fine and dandy, and then we use this, he's not even going to get... Oh, he did get infected again, but we're not going to kill him. So he would have to miss that attack. So there is a way to make it happen, but... No, I don't see the point in doing that actively. Like, it is possible, but there's just no point. You know. Especially, maybe if you use the defensive plan skill, it'll probably be better, or you'll have more chances of it working out. But just doing it with one dragon, it's fine. But why not just have the other two as cannon fodder, you know? How old am I? Read the FAQ section in the stream. It will tell you. Why are you posting clowns? I remember there was a big riot about clowns recently. Everyone moaning that they were racist or something. Hello, ape. That sounds derogatory. Like, I'm saying, hello, ape. Like, towards you as an individual. Like, imagine just going, hello, monkey. That's pretty mean. The day after you did it, you bred the Gemini Alpha Dragon. Well, God has given you his beautiful blessings. The ceremony dragon will give you every blessing he can. If you treat him nice, if you put him on your main team, level him up to level 100, fully enchant him, I've heard that there's a big special reward. 100%. Like, try it. See how it works out for you. I know I didn't. This sounds like Zoo Tycoon music. This is still Sonic, but it sounds like Zoo Tycoon. I actually am getting massive Zoo Tycoon vibes from this. What the heck? It's freaking me out. Have I managed to breed Gemini Alpha and Beta? Yes. Did it like 3 days ago. Both of them. Oh, you're just quoting the description like always. I thought you were genuinely asking me. God damn it. You're flying around on a track after crashing. What? What are you even saying? Look, it's a Freya called Purple. Unfortunately for her, she's about to die. When can I play Overwatch? I'm over it. It just got too boring. You know, I was interested for a little bit again after, I think it was mainly because I wanted to play Paladins. But Paladins are so broken and a pile of garbage that I'm not willing to play it. But the itch was still there to want to play Paladins, so it's like, what's the next best option? Oh yeah, it's Overwatch. And then I played it for a little while, but then Apex Legends came out, and then immediately I was like, yeah, I actually don't care at all about Overwatch. And then 2 weeks into Apex Legends being out, I worked out, or it seemed likely that we get the Warlord token. But it seemed obvious that they weren't willing to actually fix their game. So now I don't play Apex either. It's just, I have so many problems. There's so many of the big major comp or multiplayer games out at the moment. I am really getting over it. So like, people bullied me into playing Terraria recently. And it's just a lot more enjoyable than getting screamed down the mic at, or hearing other people scream at other people down the mic about how bad they are, when it's actually them just being a nitwit and underperforming. You know, you just get over that sort of mentality after a while. It's like, why don't you just go and play a game that's fun and you can do whatever the hell you want in it and no one's gonna moan at you. Like, you could do that with games like Terraria and Osu and just games like DML. Like, people might moan at me sometimes saying, oh god, you should definitely use this dragon instead, but it's like, it's not like you have someone going, oh my god, you altered badly on that point and cost the team a whole game. You're so bad, KYS. You know? It's not the same thing. It's not the same. You use level 45 dragons? Yeah, that definitely probably helped. Just gonna put it out there. Anyway, to still get the Aries, apart from the bundle that we saw in the shop, because now that the flash breeding's over, there is no other way to get Aries aside from this now. This may be the final time that we see Aries available the whole year. So if you don't have it, then you're gonna have to buy that bundle. Because otherwise you're gonna miss out on that final Zodiac reward. Is it true that higher level accounts on DML have higher chances on every— No! That has never been true at all. No. Oh god, I don't know why people even believe this, because it doesn't matter what your player level is. The chances that you have of breeding legendaries never changes. The only thing that changes how likely you are to breed a legendary is the level of your breeding dragons and how frequently you try. That is it. Your player level is irrelevant, your VIP level is irrelevant. Never ever believe someone if they say, yeah, well, you're a higher level player, so of course you're gonna breed it. That's not how that works. What does? You could say that technically speaking, higher level players have a higher chance because, you know, higher level players on average, spend more money because they're more dedicated to the game, which means they've got VIP, and VIP does shorten the breeding times, so it means that you can rebreed more frequently, so that is a benefit. For instance, if you buy the second breeding den doesn't have higher breeding odds, but what it does mean is that you can try and breed for the same dragon twice at the same time. So, if you're trying to breed something twice as much, obviously, in the end, it's more likely that you're going to end up breeding whatever dragon you want. But there's no actual odd change to anything that happens. Anyone that tells you that is talking out their ass, to be completely honest. You use level 25 dragons to get both alpha and beta, and you're currently finished. Very good. I like to hear it. My guy's just sitting up here, or she's called Lexa. The deep space reminds you of the other purplish dragon with stars on it. Like, you talked about Meteor, right? Or which one? You got your Lilith first try with trash dragons, can confirm level has no effect. It does not. It would be extra scummy of them to do that, because it would mean that, you know, if you're a lower level player, then everything in the game is just much, much harder for literally no reason. When for them, it needs to be easier than it is for, you know, people like us. Like, even if they made, for me, breeding, I don't know, 10% more difficult on average than for newer players, we'd probably still breed every single dragon of the month without too much of an issue. But it's not fair to do that to anyone. Why would they? And if people found out that that was the case, people would riot. It's just not worth it in any way. You got only 2 gems after watching all the ads and rip. The one I showed earlier, oh god, I don't remember what I've clicked on earlier. Was it up here? I literally don't remember. I don't remember at all. Like, obviously I know which one the deep space is, but I don't know what the other dragon that you're referring to is. Did we do Stardust? No, I don't remember at all. Was it even over here, maybe? Maybe, imagine if they made the deep space a legendary and swapped out void for legendary, it'd be so good. It would. But unfortunately we don't live in that world, do we? Hello, Emmanuel. Like, where's my deep space dragon? Where is he? Let's have a look. Deep. Less deep good. Well, you say he'd be really good, but the thing is he would only be legendary wind and light, so that would be the same as the love dragon, for example. And the love dragon is kinda sometimes okay, sometimes a little bit on the weaker side. Definitely I would say a mediocre legendary. But it would definitely be a lot better than it is right now, because in its current state the deep space is unusable on most late game teams, because you just get absolutely destroyed by plant. And if you get destroyed by plant, you're not a good dragon, unfortunately. It does have some really weird effects though. Or me, I don't know. I don't know which one. You know, there's so many dragons, I never remember. Oh, that's cute. I just saw someone post a picture of their Gemini Alpha and Gemini Beta in the same habitat. They do look pretty cute together, but at the same time it is a little bit weird. Alright, go and draw him, Betty. How many divines do I have on PC? Not that many. Not that many. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 is how many I have. 14 if you include the duplicate Hermes, which I don't really. But 30 different species. Because, you know, I've never gotten a divine chest dragon. Not even Poseidon. Which is quite sad. We finished at 109 pieces for him. Sad days. But like the other divines, I've only got 18 pieces of Hoyi, 9 for Chang, 3 for Osiris, 28 for Zeus. Obviously you gotta buy the Ares dragon, so that's not an option. 17 for Hephaestus, 113 for Chrono Zeus, 39 for Freak, we did pretty good on that one. 36 for Seth as well, and 25 out of 26 for Ra, because I finished the event on my Android account, and I got Ra on Android, but I never finished it on PC because I was not around at the time. But we do know that Apollo is in here somewhere. I'm waiting to see him. You know any leaks for how we might get jellyfish? Even if I did, I would not be able to tell you. Even if I did, I couldn't tell you, I'm afraid. Because I would get moaned at and probably destroyed, to put it bluntly. The one time, I gave out leaks that I didn't even think were legitimate. They turned out to be legitimate, and then it was like, can you not do that ever again? I was like, okay, I won't. Okay, I didn't even think it was real. Turns out it was. The boiling dragon doesn't blink anymore. This is a quite frequent reported problem that's been going on. People on the forums have talked about it quite a lot. They did change the animations for a lot of things. It's like how, if you look at Mr. Tay's Enron and dragons with his body type, their walking animation is different to what it used to be. Your level 32, you've got Carmine, Vortex, Murano. I mean, the problem is, unless you've got all three of their elements unlocked for all of them, they're not going to be that great to you right now. Because the problem with legendaries and divines is the fact that, you know, you need to unlock all three of their elements. And to do that, they have to be at least level 30. Which is why, even though I suggest for people to always use divines and legendaries, until you can get them to level 30, and until you can afford to unlock all their third elements, they're actually not that good. So in the meantime, before you actually get to that point and you can use the divines and legendaries properly, just use some good epics that you have. If you've gotten some shadow dragons from events, they could be useful, but to get dragons to level 30, literally all that you need is some good plant dragons as well. So what's a good plant dragon? This guy, Owly, for example, plant shadow wind. Owly, the cherry dragon, would be insane for that. Owly would be an incredibly good epic to use early on. And then yeah, we did also get Adna, who was really, really good as well from that previous event. If you just get some other plant dragons, like Suk could be used as a more, or the Pattaya dragon more specifically, could be used as a sort of, you know, helper dragon, an assister. And then, as long as you've got plant on your team, for the most part, you can get to level 30 without a problem. You can get to that level without a single issue. But you gotta remember, you need to have all three elements unlocked on your legendaries and divines, otherwise they're gonna be sort of useless, and you don't want that. You know, I've never really spoken about it before, but I actually adore the emblem of might. I don't know why, it's just his teeth, his gigantic lips, his bountiful tail and everything. I don't know what it is. I like him. I like him a lot. It's really weird. Really, really weird. I like it. I want more decorations that are like actual dragons, like the Emblem of Grace as well. Like these ones, look how cute they are. The Golden Dreams, they're cute. Problem is that they would need a Shadow Temple, exactly. That is the main problem when you're upgrading as well. So again, if you can't get your Shadow Temple at the time, then just use a plant epic. Because you can definitely use your plant temple, and you can get that upgraded a bit, but, you know, upgrading stuff like Shadow can be kind of a problem. So, keep all of that in mind if you're looking to upgrade a specific sort of team or specific dragons as a lower level person. It's like how the Murano, Carmine, low dragons are pretty good if you don't have a single legendary, but they're only good if you've got everything unlocked, so. Any advice on breeding the breedable legendaries? So you're talking about these guys in the shop, right? These guys. Literally just keep doing it. Level up your dragons to level 15 minimum. I would recommend around about level 20 if you can easily afford the food. Like, I normally level them up to 25 because 25 is pretty cheap for me. But these guys are available to breed at any time. So rather than breeding them when you've got other stuff to breed like Gemini Alpha, don't do it. Just breed these guys whenever you have some spare time, and you might use them, you might not, but because they're available at any time, it means you don't need to prioritize them, which is a good thing, but also a bad thing, because sometimes you'll just never get around to doing it. But when you do, like some of these came out instantly for me, some of them took forever, like the crystal dragon did, but it's the same with all breeding. Just rebreed as frequently as you possibly can, and you'll probably end up being successful sooner than you think. Can I do a battle? What level is he? 21? I'll do a battle if you really want me to. If you really want me to do a level 21 battle. What level is 21? Like here? Yeah, that's a little bit higher. But fine, we'll do this. If you really want me to, I'll do it. He also has his divine upgraded to level 6. What the heck is that about? Let's pick a level 20 legendary as well. Like, how about Sumo? Sure. Look. I love how much dragons freak out sometimes when you press that button. So we can bless him if we want. And we'll bless the Tiger as well. Why not? So now when he attacks, he's gonna go pa-choo! That was like nothing, actually. But because Ty's has his level 6 skill, he is gonna do a lot more damage. And Nez has just a higher level in general. So she's just gonna pound on some dragons. If you go to the breeding calculator, it says the elixir is limited time. Check now. You gotta remember that the breeding calculators are fan-made. There are going to be mistakes. While they're updating them, there will be issues. Like, just because the breeding calculator says something doesn't mean it's true 100% of the time. Please remember that. It's not an official thing. The breeding calculators are not run by Gameloft. So if there's a mistake, it literally doesn't mean anything. They're probably just in the middle of updating it. His high level and enchanted epic dragons are good. They're not better than enchanted high level divines or legendaries by any stretch, but they can definitely be used until you get the good dragons that you need. But again, you use them until you find better replacements for them. What is this? I'm being text messaged. No, we will not be text messaged. But, you know, I think that's all the DML stuff that we have ready for now. Oh wait, this is the song, isn't it? Oh yeah, this is the cutscene music from SA2B. Isn't it? I think it is. You got Alpha in your first attempt and got Beta 2. It's breeding will complete today evening. Very good. What is the best combo to breed the Agnes dragon? Literally any dragon that has those combinations of elements, or the problem is that with the Agnes dragon and that, they come up so frequently in other breedings that I wouldn't even try breeding them unless you really need them. Like these two and the Imperial dragon, they come up in so many Dragon of the Week breedings and things like that I would not prioritize them. You're probably going to get them by accident anyway. You should focus on other dragons instead. The Dragon of the Month can be bred using these, and it is technically the best combo, but I don't even think it's worth it. Just use the other combos for now with the easier dragons. You will end up breeding these guys eventually. In fact, with one of the other Dragon of the Month breeding combos, you can breed those guys as well. So it all works out in the end. But like I said, DML section is down. So, as it suggests in the title, we will open up Osu for now. Level up Odin. Why would I randomly level up Odin though?
Click the circles.
There we go. I was gonna say, is it actually gonna work? Is it actually gonna come up on the screen? How to get the Tiger Dragon?
Circles.
You literally just breed dragons with the elements that he has. That is it. Again, the thing is, I remember back in the day when breeding epics used to seem like a tough thing. But these days, when I'm breeding epics, it's just like, why did I even bother trying to breed them? Because I end up breeding so many epics by accident anyway. Obviously, as you're trying to level up, it is a lot more useful. But I wish that I had stuff to breed, basically, is what I'm trying to say. I wish that I had stuff to breed. Whereas in the past, I just wanted everything. So that's the difference. Is it normal that a 25 has a shadow dragon? If you've been participating in events, then sure. Back when I was level 25, shadow dragons didn't even exist. So that's the difference. Turns out it was the meteorite. I thought that might have been what you were talking about.